Today, we're going on an amazing adventure to a place you might think is super calm and quiet, the Great Lakes. But guess what? We're going to be earthquake detectives and uncover some surprising secrets hiding deep beneath the water. Ready to have your mind blown? Let's dive in. So when you think of earthquakes, you probably picture places like California or Japan, right? Places where the ground shakes and rattles all the time. But would you believe that the Great Lakes region, right here in the heart of North America, also has its own secret shaky history? It's true. And we know this thanks to some super smart scientists at a place called the USGS, which stands for the United States Geological Survey. They're like the planet's doctors, constantly checking its pulse. Now you might be wondering, how can there be earthquakes in a place that's so far from the edge of a tectonic plate? That's an awesome question. To understand it, we need to travel back in time. Way, way back. Billions of years ago, the land that is now North America was being formed. It was a crazy time of continents crashing together and pulling apart. This created ancient cracks and weak spots deep in the Earth's crust, kind of like old scars. These are called ancient rift systems. Imagine taking two pieces of clay, squishing them together, and then pulling them apart a little. You'd see lines and weak spots in the middle, right? That's what happened under the Great Lakes. One of the most famous ones is called the Mid-Continent Rift System. It's a huge ancient scar that runs right under Lake Superior. For a super long time, these scars were just sleeping, buried deep underground. But then something amazing happened. The ice ages. Massive, super heavy sheets of ice called glaciers, some miles thick, covered the entire region. Imagine a giant, icy blanket pressing down on the land. This immense weight pushed the Earth's crust down, like when you sit on a soft cushion. Then, about 10,000 years ago, the climate warmed up, and these giant glaciers started to melt away. As all that heavy ice disappeared, the land began to slowly rise back up. It's like when you stand up from that cushion, and it slowly puffs back into its original shape. This process is called post-glacial rebound, and it's still happening today, super slowly. So what does this have to do with earthquakes? Well, as the land rises, it puts stress on those ancient, weak scars deep in the crust. Imagine you have a stick with a small crack in it. If you slowly bend that stick, where do you think it's most likely to snap? Right at the crack. That's exactly what's happening under the Great Lakes. The slow upward movement is putting pressure on these old faults, and every now and then, one of them slips just a tiny bit, releasing energy and creating a small earthquake. The USGS scientists use special tools called seismometers to listen for these tiny rumbles. These are like super sensitive microphones for the Earth. They place them all around the Great Lakes region, and even on the lake bottoms to catch any shaking that happens. And what they've found is super interesting. Most of the earthquakes in the Great Lakes are really small, usually between a magnitude 1 and 3. You probably wouldn't even feel them unless you were right on top of them. They're more like a big truck rumbling by your house than a big scary movie earthquake. These tiny quakes are happening more often than people used to think. They are little reminders of the incredible forces that are constantly, slowly, reshaping our planet right under our feet. For example, there have been noticeable little quakes near places like eastern Ohio, southern Ontario, and even under parts of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. Each little ping on the seismometer helps scientists map out these hidden, ancient faults. It's like they're putting together a giant underground jigsaw puzzle piece by piece. But wait, there's more. Sometimes human activities can also give the ground a little nudge. Things like mining, or a process called hydraulic fracturing for oil and gas can sometimes change the pressures underground and wake up these sleeping faults, causing what are called induced seismic events. The USGS studies these too, to help us understand how our actions can affect the Earth. It's a great reminder that we need to be careful and responsible with our planet. So why is studying these tiny quakes so important? Well, even though a big, dangerous earthquake in the Great Lakes is extremely unlikely, understanding all this seismic activity helps us learn more about the history of our continent. It tells a story that's billions of years old, from continents colliding to giant glaciers melting. It also helps engineers build safer buildings, dams, and power plants, even in areas we think of as being very stable. By understanding the Earth's little wiggles, we can be better prepared for anything. Isn't that incredible? The next time you look out at the beautiful, peaceful waters of Lake Michigan or Lake Superior, you can remember the amazing secret story happening deep below, a story of ancient scars, giant melting ice sheets, and land that is slowly bouncing back, all recorded by the amazing earthquake detectives at the USGS. Our planet is so alive and dynamic, always changing, even in the quietest places. Science is all about curiosity and discovery, and stories like this show that there are always new mysteries to solve, even in our own backyards. What other secrets do you think are hiding in the world around us? Let me know your ideas in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the secrets of the Great Lakes. If you had fun and learned something new, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss our next adventure. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.